It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is 3 professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions, a multiple variety of questions. Advanced Answering Techniques.
Welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm one of your hosts, Josh. A sudden change in the wind, and I inhale sharply, snap my head to the side. The tang of a roaming herd of podcasts. Like a puma, I move to the edge of the trees. My fingers, weathered scouts, independent of my mind's commands, fit an arrow to the sinews of my bowstring. I pick out the largest. In my mind's eye, I can see his beating heart under his ribs. I become the arrow as it leaves the bow and return to myself only when the shaft has passed through the beast's far side. The podcast rears up, bellowing. The herd jolts into panic. The injured one gallops to the tree line. As it does, Caleb lunges out of the limbs of an ancient tamarack, holding a thick rope. A net gathers itself from the ground and snares the writhing animal. Caleb and his nets never fail. Caleb keeps his weight on his end of the rope, a grip like eagle talons while leaping about to avoid the terrible horns of our prize. I run to help, crossing the clearing, but in the work of a moment, Gabe bursts out of one of his trusty tunnels, wielding an enormous stone. He has a look of fierce compassion. The podcast must be brought down. It is fading even now, bleeding out, but Gabe cannot countenance the noble creature's suffering. Gabe's rock obliterates the horned head. Caleb squints through the spray of red, and the air around us fills with the thud of the felled body. My momentum as I approach is significant. I lean back and allow myself to slide on my heels across the blood-slick grass. Gabe puts out an arm, thick and strong as a mature tree trunk. I grab the leather bracer there and come to a stop. Caleb's knife already makes merry whistling sounds as he slips it through the skin of the podcast and reveals the red meat within. You already heard the idea of the podcast at the beginning. We receive questions from our users and we give them definitive ironclad answers. But the style in which we deliver these answers, like an otter at play in the river, golden with dawnlight. Guys, what do you think? Is that do you feel ennobled by that intro?
I do. I think a net is a very noble device.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to say that a net is noble, but what's nobler than smashing an animal's head with a rock?
I had a kind of vision came to me as you were describing Gabe's situation, which is that he's coming out of a tunnel.
Right.
And so it's kind of cool if he had a rock right over the top of the tunnel that he's kind of peeping through to see when everything happens. He lifts the rock up and jumps out of the tunnel, and the rock's ready to go.
Yeah.
So the rock pulls double duty.
Right.
It's a door and a weapon.
Yeah, door.
Yeah, the kind of door.
Yeah.
That's the way that I was thinking of it is like, since we don't know where the beast is going to run to exactly, you guys are pretty mobile,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Like you're up in the trees, moving from tree to tree
with a net.
Well, that's kind of all around,
over,
sort of
right? We
station.
set it up. So
Yeah.
Gabe has to have built a pretty significant tunneling system.
Very
throughout the
sophisticated.
perimeter.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
So
mean,
he
it's,
could kind of go through quick, and
Right.
he has to
pop
keep track
out.
of where I am too.
right.
in this scenario, I'm just building the tunnels. It's not necessarily for this purpose. It's
Right.
very convenient that,
Yeah.
I think...
You
know,
happen to be in the tunnel
Yeah.
when
yeah,
we're doing
I'm just
this.
building... No,
Josh and I have coordinated this. And
Yeah.
Gabe just kind of
Yeah, that's right.
He's just working on his tunnels, and then he.
Well, it looks like Josh and Caleb are hanging out over here. I might as well build, like 4 miles of underground tunnel over here.
yeah.
Just, what else are you going to do in the woods?
Right.
Play out in the woods or try to go under the woods.
Yeah. I prefer to play under the woods.
What kind of like time frame and situation did you guys kind of think this was?
15 minutes.
Well, and more of that is like when
Yeah.
and where did this seem to be?
I felt like it was early 19th century,
Okay.
where sort of a trappers.
Yeah.
That's kind of the scene for me.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
kinda what
and
I-
I'll say where, and I'll say it's like Alaska.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you think
I was
it's
gonna say
Alaska.
Northern Territories.
Yeah.
That's
For some,
close.
we're in Canada.
Yeah.
Canada and the
Canada.
Yukon, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could be there before it was Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was
is that? I don't even
The
know.
Yukon is like, I think is it just Canadian region?
It's one of those. This took place in one of those podcast-rich lands
Yes.
to
Right.
the north of us.
That's what I was thinking.
Where the
it's
podcasts run
grow
free.
strong and they're
And
free. And
they've also
weather.
been sort of. That's where they've retreated after.
Yeah.
After like the U.S. territories
Right.
Mhm.
have become like overhunted.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we've begun the practice in the U.S. of running great herds of
Right.
podcasts over cliffs
Right.
to kill
Mhm.
thousands at a time.
They're
And just
dying out.
just a pile of podcast skulls.
Yeah.
Dead
Yeah.
podcasts all
Yeah.
over the place, and a man just
Kind of an RSS feed.
just a feed. It just falls into a pit,
Yeah.
basically an RSS pit
Right. That's the
of
website.
skulls. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking you're wearing like a leather jerkin.
Yeah.
And I'm just like a loincloth probably for me,
Yeah.
just so I'm more mobile
In
and
the trees.
aerodynamic in the
Mhm.
trees.
Yeah.
Kind of borrowing from Tarzan a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Gabe, I think you must have some
Naked.
kind of naked, with a helmet.
Well, he did
With a
have,
helmet
with
with
a
a
kind
light on
of
it.
yeah.
and I did mention Gabe's leather bracer, so he has
Yeah.
at
Oh,
least.
okay. He has one
Bracers.
leather bracer on and a helmet.
And
Otherwise,
yeah.
completely nude.
And I'm not a particularly hairy man, but in this circumstance, I think hormones would catch on.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need some more heat. We need to conserve
Yeah.
the body heat. We need protection from
Yeah.
rocks
Yeah.
in the tunnel.
Right.
and
Hair's
things like
a good
that.
protection
Yeah.
from
Well,
rocks.
just from getting scraped. Like if you have
Yeah,
a
totally.
thick
Yeah,
mat
that's
of
true.
hair on you,
That's true.
You know,
You're gonna slide through that.
sure,
tunnel.
yeah. Right. The natural oils
Yeah.
in the hair will allow this.
And it would be, it might be just too much work to kind of make a hair suit or some kind of suit
Sure.
out of animal skins.
No.
Instead of just
Instead
relying
of
on your
instead
own.
of hair suit, he's just here suit.
yeah.
Well, because if I do
Birthday
that,
suit, really.
then I have to do laundry day and shower day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
But
way,
this way it's
just
just a shower.
Just shower.
Just once a year, quick shower.
Just kind of spray off a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's a poem. This one deals, well, quite frankly, with the question of attraction. Joseph admired his wife in the winter sunlight. She had a neck like an ivory statue, a face like a porcelain doll's, and eyes like a doll's glass eyes. Also similar to a doll, sometimes her eyelids would get stuck to her eyes when she sat upright suddenly. Different configurations, one eye fully closed, one eye half open, so on. Guys, anything else going on? Anything big that we need to cover?
I've been having some interesting interactions with my PT people.
And then what does that stand for?
Physical therapy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Or physical therapist in this
Yeah,
case.
for new listeners, Caleb does physical therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it frequently kind of pushed on me, and
Yeah.
sometimes I ask for it.
Yeah.
And this time
Sometimes
I,
he's simply begging for it.
I had to get down on my knees and beg
Yeah.
my doctor.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
"Sir, please, doctor, please send me to PT."
Yeah.
He finally gave in, gave me some PT. Yeah,
What
so
does it? We know what it stands for. What does it sit for? Like a good movie?
they play movies at this PT.
Do they?
They do.
Yeah.
They have a screen. It's really bad TV. There's a lot of artifacts in all of the
Yeah.
movies they play. I can see
Is it?
some.
It's Indiana Jones they're watching.
That's nice. Yeah, that's real good. I wish it was. It's a lot of Marvel, a lot of
Oh,
superhero
yikes, yeah.
stuff. Ferris Bueller has made an appearance a couple times, which I'm all right with.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, so interactions with them, they're kind of getting mad at me in some different ways. I like we said, can they make me do these exercises? And I've kind of been employing that a little bit more where they explain it, but I'm like, Now make me do it.
Yeah.
Because that's a sign of a great physical therapist is someone who can manhandle you into doing this.
It's like
So they don't like that.
yeah.
But the other thing they really don't like. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, you know, when Marty Scorsese has his bit part in Taxi Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's playing opposite Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
And De Niro said, "You have to make me turn the meter back on.
Okay.
You have to make me do it.
Right.
Like you're gonna have to like with force of will make me do it."
Right.
Because he wasn't. It's like the director is trying to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've got to make me take you seriously.
Mhm.
And
Right.
he did.
Right.
Got him to turn the meter back.
And that's sort of what I've been doing. Yeah. But the other thing they really don't like is anytime I'm next to someone else that's at physical therapy, I'm always asking them what they're in for.
Mm-hmm.
And,
They don't like
what
it.
happened. You know, what are you? And some people are pretty shy about that.
Yeah.
But I usually get down to it. You know,
Yeah.
usually figure out why they're there.
Yeah.
Surprising amount of these people are the answer is, well, I was trying to be like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Really.
crawling in the sewer.
They're injured by being in the sewer.
Right.
Yeah.
Really
That-
huge percentage. And these aren't all like young people either.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like elderly people.
Interesting. That was a huge danger back in my day.
Mm.
There were like warnings about, hey, just because the turtles can live in the sewer doesn't mean you can.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. What kinds of injuries? I mean, there's not a lot of room to move. You would
Right.
assume that, you know, once that people getting stuck
Yep.
and dying in a sewer would be sort of more likely.
Well,
to
there's
just
some of
becoming
those.
Injured.
There's some of those where it's like, well,
Yeah.
my friend
Yeah.
got stuck down there, and I tried to get him out.
Tried to get him
Right.
out, and I couldn't.
I couldn't do it. I got injured myself
Yeah.
instead. So now I'm in physical therapy.
And you're like,
That-
what are you in for?
Yeah. What are you in for?
Yeah. And so on the-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
On the first day of physical therapy, did you walk in there, find the biggest guy, and then go punch him to assert dominance over the whole? You know, kind of like.
Kind of like jump, like you're in a kind of prison setting.
Prison yard.
Right. He didn't disrespect me right away.
Okay.
But later on, I got on one of the machines
Okay.
after him, and he sort of, I could see some of his sweat.
Yeah. Ugh.
And so, gross,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
disgusting.
then I was like, I laid down
Yeah.
the law.
Right. Yeah. So you
What
socked him.
Not.
You just wiped the sweat off.
Yeah.
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 That's good. You just
Yeah.
wiped the sweat. More into the machine than it was previously.
Some of it came
It was
up, but
all
it's-
sitting on the surface. Then you wipe it, and it's all
Yep.
inside
Just
of
kind
the
of pushing it.
cushion.
Pushing it into it.
Put the cloth on and then just
Yeah.
push.
Just-
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they're there for.
Yeah. Anyway, so they don't like that. My physical therapists are kind of pissed at me about that.
Right.
But I get there.
Yeah.
I show up
Yeah.
and I do the work when they could make me do it.
When they can finally
Yeah.
That's pretty.
gain that
In
upper
between
hand.
long conversations with other
Mm-hmm.
patients.
You're having the long conversations, or they are.
I'm having the long conversations
Yeah.
to figure out. you
Right.
know.
Why they're there.
They're like, Mr.
At this
Stevenson,
point-
can we start your physical therapy? And you're like, hold on.
Hold on. We're finding out why he's here.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out which one of us is Leonardo, which one's Raph.
Yeah, and I have asked, some of them, a lot of
Yeah.
them want to be Michelangelo, even these older people.
Interesting.
They like the
Party
party
animal.
kind of
Okay,
animal
yeah.
I
vibe.
just think that's
Interesting.
Which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle did you guys identify with most?
Raphael.
growing up? You're a Raph?
Oh, yeah.
A real Raph kind of guy, bad
Absolutely.
attitude.
Just red.
Yeah. You like the red?
I like the red.
cool. Yeah, I think I'd say Michelangelo.
You were a Michelangelo.
He likes pizza so much, and
Yeah.
I as a child, still I love pizza.
They all love pizza.
But he's really into it. I think he kind of leads the charge on the pizza.
You think Michelangelo's into pizza more?
That's kind of a warning for me, though, where it's like this guy's only like he's grasping at an identity,
Yeah.
and it's that he likes pizza.
Which
It's like that
I was
does
too.
not-
I related to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Trying to separate myself by liking pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely had the well, never mind.
Okay.
Are you sure, Josh?
I was suddenly like, I think it's Corey Feldman is Michelangelo's voice in the live action
Okay.
movie. Is it?
That tracks.
Maybe.
I mean,
I think
don't
it
remember.
is. But
Yeah.
then I was like, is it Donatello?
Donatello's the nerd.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's
Purple
but
bow
Purple
staff.
he's one of them. Quick note before I get to the poem here. The correct answer is Donatello. That's right. Corey Feldman was voiced by Donatello. Okay, this one is interesting. I think it'll be especially sort of salient for the men. I think women can get into it too. All around Ian and Samuel, men grunted and barbells clanked on the floor. Think you see what I mean? Ian asked, "What are your fitness goals?" Samuel said, "I want to have a physique that will make loan officers at the bank think twice about turning me down." Ian nodded. "We call that building credit," he said. In 2 months, Samuel could lift his dad and his dad's best friend over his head, balanced on a park bench. So that's kind of a nice indirect perk there. That's kind of interesting to me, the way that, you have this main pursuit, one goal, but then there can be sort of tangential benefits. Jean-Luc, that's the name of Samuel's dad's best friend, and he is a bit of I shouldn't say what I really think he is. He is a piece of work. He's very generous about how you can go on the boat, you can come on the boat, let's go on the boat. But then you get on the boat and there's lots of rules. Not fun.
I mean, the size, that was like a big.
Oh yeah.
The katanas, Leonardo, that's cool. But the size, I thought were.
Yeah.
That was something else.
Well, you know who the voice of Raphael is?
I don't.
Strong New
tell
York
ya.
accent.
Josh Payas.
Okay, that still means nothing.
You would know him if you
Right.
saw him, and you're
Okay.
like, that guy
Is Raphael?
is Raphael.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense. He's done
Interesting.
some stuff with like Showalter and other,
Oh, okay.
other people. He shows up here and there. He Showalters up here and there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
He
guys.
was on Michael and Michael have issues.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Deep cut.
A classic.
Very deep.
It's such a deep cut. You really can't find any trace of that show anywhere on
Yep.
the internet.
I own it. Not a good show. Shouldn't own it, but made a mistake.
Should give it away. Yeah,
An
it's hard.
iTunes gift card.
It's hard once you buy something on Amazon
Yeah.
or iTunes or whatever. It's like it's just there.
just there.
You
You're
can't
saddled
get
with
rid
I
of
could
it.
get rid of it, but there's
The only way you
No
can
real
get rid of it
reason
is if Amazon's like, you don't own this anymore, which
Yeah.
they do. They
can
do
do that.
occasionally.
They
They
can
have
do
done
that.
it. They have done
Do
it.
that.
It's interesting that you were talking about people losing friends in the sewer,
Yeah.
because I actually, that kind of hits close to home to me. I had some bad news this week.
Oh, really?
no.
Yeah, and I'd like to share it. What we like to do here on the podcast is to sort of spin gold from straw,
Yes.
or even something worse than straw.
Yeah.
Make that into gold too.
Yeah.
What's
Something painful
Okay.
or
Mm-hmm.
annoying.
Straw's not that painful.
Right. Straw is fine.
Yeah.
We
Could be
like
pretty
straw.
itchy.
It
Like
serves a
thorns.
purpose. Yeah. But things like, real like pain and suffering
Mm.
doesn't serve any real purpose. I don't think.
You don't think it does?
No.
Okay.
So let's listen to this. Something that just me trying to make the best of a bad situation.
1, 2, 3.
The police called me up just the other day. Not only for fun, they had something to say. We found your friend Charlie. Hearing this made me smile. But then they said the next part, he was bones in a pile. My friend who used to have skin, meat, and other zones had simplified things and was now only bones. Gee willikers, I felt sad. Holy moly, hurts bad. A good old friend, bone pile in the end. Piles are fine if we're talking about stones, but friends shouldn't be piles, shouldn't be only bones. Friends shouldn't be piles, shouldn't be only bones. Friends shouldn't be piles, shouldn't be only bones. Peace. Yeah.
I think you did it.
It
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Pure.
That's a
pure
great
gold.
message.
Yeah.
It's a great message.
Great
Yeah.
message.
And I am curious
Yeah.
because it seems like you have some kind of history with the police force where they're calling
Where
you
they-
up just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just to like chat.
Sometimes, I'm I'm surprised that you guys haven't received. They listen.
They listen.
Really?
To the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, that's kind of how, you put yourself out there
Yeah.
and you never know where it might
Sure,
lead. And so, the police have occasionally called me up just to
Chat.
chat.
Just
About
have
the
a laugh.
latest episode.
Yeah, to kind of, they like to do bits. They like to kind of go, when
no.
Caleb was
Yeah,
doing,
yeah,
James
yeah.
said this.
Right.
They like to kind of
man.
go over it.
Or not new bits where they're not
They-
like
they-
No, they
proposing
just,
things.
no. These are
Oh.
not creative people.
Yeah, they're
Thank you.
rehashing.
Yeah.
I know, but creative people will try to sell you bits sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, non-creative people
Oh,
will
no,
try
no.
to sell you bits.
Absolutely.
sometimes.
No. But they're just like, oh, when you guys,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. You sound kind of like Raphael.
Yeah.
Some of them,
Yeah.
these police meatheads.
And the turtles are sort of a kind of police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vigilantes really kind of more on the order of, say, a Death Wish.
And
Mhm.
Charles Bronson.
Splinter
Splinter.
is their sheriff.
He's a chief.
He's the chief of
He's a sheriff or chief of police.
He's the
Yeah.
chief of police.
Yeah.
He's
Bring me your mask and
Yeah.
your bow staff
on
my
mask
desk.
and bow staff
Yeah.
on my desk.
on my
Too
desk.
far.
Yeah.
Too far, Donatello. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect that from you. I expect this from Raph.
Yeah.
But
You picked up those Foot Clan members for petty theft. We could have gotten them for something much bigger,
yeah.
but they needed to be dealt with.
Dealed
it's dealt. Okay. I'll take that under consideration next time, Master Splinter.
You destroyed half of that warehouse by hitting it with a stick.
Yeah. That's
Well, sometimes if you hit boxes hard enough.
They collapse.
Yep, that can
I found
cause
that.
real damage.
Yeah. Real damage.
Real damage.
pile of bones is your friend, though. That was sad.
Yeah.
It's
And Charlie, I don't know if I knew Charlie.
Yeah, no, he was not a close friend,
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
but I think he had my picture in his wallet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Not
we better
a
give
close
Josh a
friend.
call.
No, I gave him. I did a little while ago. I did some of those. When you're in Little League and you do
Yeah.
like a baseball card picture.
Mhm.
I gave one of those.
Nice.
From recent?
So
Yeah. Oh yeah. These are
Yeah.
just done.
You're
I did them recently.
holding your guitar and you have your stats.
Yep. I was doing this. I had
On a baseball diamond
on
with
a baseball
guitar.
diamond
Yeah.
with two mitts.
yeah.
Can I get that contact for that guy
I
later?
I did an alternate one, still with two mitts, but I'm holding the neck of the guitar out
Right,
like
it's a-
like
like
a
Oh, yeah.
That's where I thought
And
it was
there's a
headed
music
eventually.
note coming at you
yeah.
that you're going to hit with the guitar.
When we did not fake the music note, it's a real music note.
It's an F.
good.
You'd think it would be a B.
For baseball.
ball.
For ball or baseball, yeah. For,
At least ball.
No, this was an F for
Foul.
fly.
or fly. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Fly ball.
I didn't mean to
It's an
put
F
you down like
flat.
Thank you. Yep.
Fly ball.
that. Yep.
So he wasn't a
That's for
close
all the music
friend.
nerds out there.
It sounds like he's one of those friends where he's not your close friend,
Right.
but you are his close friend. Maybe?
Yes, definitely. It's a bit of an inequitable
The one-sided
relationship.
closeness.
Yeah.
But still, you want those people to have meat on their bones in
Oh,
different
yeah.
zones. Was that the phrase?
Right. He had skin and meat and different zones.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. There's parts of your body where there's just not as much skin and meat.
No.
Right.
Or
No,
there's maybe the same amount of skin,
Yeah.
but different quantities of meat.
Yep.
Elbow is one I think of.
Yeah.
I was thinking primarily of
Knees.
like your viscera and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because that's not the sweet meats.
Mm.
There's no bones.
But there's no bones and it's not skin. So like your
Yeah.
liver and pancreas.
The sweet
That's
meat
true.
zone.
That's kind of a different zone.
Yeah.
Guts,
Yeah, guts is a
intestines.
But bones are rigid
Yeah.
and rough,
Yeah.
or they're not rough.
no. They're smooth.
Some of them.
They're
usually.
kind of smooth. Okay.
Which ones are rough?
Well, they like
Which
if
are the
you-
rough
Well,
bones?
those
Josh?
are
the
dog-
roughest bones I can think of?
dog bones?
Dog bones.
Rough.
You got me there.
Yep.
And where is that in the human body?
Yeah.
The dog bone? It's in the doghouse zone.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly where I think of it being, but I guess
Yeah.
I'm not good at reading x-rays, as the doctors are generally telling me.
Yeah.
We were disagreeing with them over
Yeah.
what it's showing.
Yep.
Yeah.
This kind of looks like a rabbit.
Mhm. They're like, it's not clouds.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like.
Oh,
Okay, right.
Right. These are the clouds in my body.
Yeah.
Josh, it's not clouds, it's bones.
Oh wow, this one looks like Barack Obama.
Oh, that bone does. Yeah, this guy's pelvis does look
Actually.
like Barack Obama. Crazy.
It's nice because I am just going in and consulting, unofficially on other people's x-rays.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy's got a real
Yeah.
cow problem I see here.
Yeah.
A dino.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
This one is about tragedy entering our lives and the various things it requires of us. After my boss got murdered, brain pulped with an espresso portafilter, the detectives questioned me. They didn't like my alibi. I said I had driven an hour away to a small Walmart, even though I lived only 3 blocks away from a super Walmart. But that's true. I do that because I prefer a more intimate Walmart experience. They asked me to come back for more questioning, but to wear a different shirt, as my nipples had been distracting. An espresso portafilter, I want to make sure everybody understands what that is. That's like the handle thing that holds the coffee. You've seen a barista perhaps pack that coffee into the portafilter, and then the water is pressed down through that, and that becomes espresso. What we all know and love is espresso. It's a coffee treat, and some offices do have that. My office has that. So if you think, well, why would an office have an espresso machine? My office does. And if you've ever held a portafilter in your hand, it would make quite a formidable weapon. So that's what I was thinking of, is just the heft of a portafilter. But I don't use the espresso machine at work. I've just held the little handle thing, just tried that on for size. I don't make espresso at the office where I work because I'm worried that I'll mess something up. So I just have the Starbucks Nitro instead. And there really is something about tragedy that I find so sad. Guys, is it time?
I think so.
It's time to get into the
Thank you.
I'd like to kind of, tell a little story about an interaction with the question asker,
Okay.
questioner.
Yeah.
And this time is no different. I feel like it gives us a little insight into who these people are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So recently the Samsons were selling a push mower and we were in the market. And so I went over to have a look at this thing.
Yeah.
And Steven said that they had really put some effort into sharpening the blade. It was really sharp. I said, well, we'll see about that.
Okay.
and I had Steven push the mower handle down so the deck lifted up. You guys ever done this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I could get down there and examine the blade. And Steven said, you need to be very careful. And I didn't let it show because the Samsons have been quick to contact my pastor in previous situations. But I reached out, I touched the blade, and it was so sharp that it immediately nicked the pad of my forefinger.
Wow.
And that surprised me and hurt me so much that my hand jerked back involuntarily, and that went into the other end of the blade. And that actually severed my finger right above the third knuckle.
Wow.
Steven, with a real kind of I told you so attitude, showed no compassion whatsoever, and he actually kicked my severed finger into a flower bed.
Wow.
So I sheepishly recovered my finger and then started towards my car to drive to the hospital. But Joy told me to just brush off most of the gunk off my finger. The flower bed was full of lots of gunk. I think that was due to Steven's negligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, hold it in place on your knuckle. And I did. And then Joy took out this little vial and dripped a few drops onto the wound. And I felt a searing pain like the time. Yep. I felt a searing pain. Is there anything for me feeling a searing pain?
I like how it really communicated the delicate nature of this operation.
Yep, that was those were the drops, though, right?
Yeah.
Splashing onto the wound. I felt a searing pain like the time my pastor branded me on my heel, and then the finger was back in place.
Ooh.
Pretty much good as new. I had held it in place with a very slight twist, so it's got kind of
no.
That's too bad.
But I feel like I've never been able to wiggle my index finger so fast or with such strength.
Whoa. I can see.
Yeah, for the listener,
there's actually
Josh
a kind of a
just
swishing noise. The
scary.
air is like moving very quickly past it.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
I mean, it's not the air moving past it; it's his finger moving through the air.
Through the air, slicing the air.
Sorry.
That's a good
like
point.
like the knife and like your knife.
That's not a knife.
No, it wasn't. It was my finger.
Yeah. Josh, stop disagreeing with yourself.
Yeah.
That's not a knife.
I agree. It's not. It's not.
That's not a knife. That's not a knife.
I felt a little bit like the Samsons were kind of irresponsible with the way that they had sharpened their mower blade, but I appreciate Joy's help.
That's good.
Thank you, Joy.
Joy is a helper.
Yeah.
She has I would say, a nurturing attitude.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you?
Yes,
definitely.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, it appears she also has a file of some sort of elixir
Magic,
that will help you
I mean,
regrow or reattach various
Made me
appendages.
kind of think of Lucy and Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe.
That's where I wasn't sure if it was Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, but
Yeah.
I was like, it's some.
did it have a
something like
similar
that.
sort of effect where it like
Who did she save
steam
with it?
comes up?
Edmund.
Somebody
is mortally wounded, and she.
I think
she
it's Peter
saves-
when he's fighting the wolf.
I
No?
don't think so.
Fenris?
Okay.
Does she help a dwarf as a dwarf? I think maybe.
Ew, why?
Does she help
Mm.
Trumpkin?
Oh,
Anyway.
Trumpkin. Yeah. Well, that's
I
a
don't
different
remember.
story.
It's been a while since I
Yeah.
read those books. To be totally honest.
Yeah.
Well, they're for children. Continue.
Yep. Joy has a question. We've received one other question like this. I hate to engender conflict between our contributors. They're so helpful to us.
yeah.
Justin sent in a picture. That was a question.
Really quick.
Conflict.
The conflict gong.
Fight. Yeah. But
Justin sent in
his-
a picture, yeah.
yeah, it was a picture of a rejection notice that he got. Joy's is a picture it's just a picture.
It's
Wow.
an actual picture.
It's just a picture. And Caleb, you can go ahead and have a look at it there.
Caleb
And see
hasn't
if you can
seen it
sort
yet.
of describe.
Oh, I did
I would
see
love
this.
to see
Oh, he
you
has seen it.
I have seen this.
work out and kind of describe your mental process.
And
as you
please
view the
narrate.
picture. And do.
Please do narrate.
What the contents of the picture are. Okay, the picture is framed in such a way we get some kind of depth of field here. We've got some kind of lintel here on the side, on the right side of the frame, and then it goes out, and on the left side of the frame there's a tree part of this big tree that we know is in their yard.
Yes.
So this must be the front yard of the Sampsons.
Okay, good.
And then we have a kids' picnic table, like a play school picnic table there.
Brightly colored plastic.
Brightly colored plastic. And we've got the legs are green. And
Okay.
Thank you.
the table is yellow.
They're all different colors.
The bench is like a maroon.
The palette.
Yeah.
The palette
Oh.
of this picture. I mean, the picture to me works.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, it works. Oh,
Absolutely.
it works. And then there seems to be a small child, a girl, I would assume.
Yeah.
And she is standing facing away from the picture. You see the back of her, and she's holding a piece of cardboard up.
Yeah.
And on the back of the cardboard, it says rock,
Right.
written in some kind of pen. But
I mean, pen. I mean,
I would say maybe a
marker.
felt marker. A big
or
Yeah.
even painted. It
Yeah.
could be
pen,
painted.
that's
Yeah.
true. Maybe there was a pen involved.
maybe
a
a
marker.
I
pen.
see some pen tracing.
Yeah, maybe the
where
pen
they're
was
gonna
the
write
outline.
with
Yeah.
marker.
I think if you were to X-ray this,
Yeah. Oh, what is
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
It's
interesting.
it's a lollipop.
some of these
Nice.
lines look a little bit like Barack Obama.
Yeah, well, rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then in the back, not the background. Yeah, it's the background. Basically, is what appears to be a school bus,
Yeah.
either driving past or it's stopped. We don't see what's on front of this
Right.
sign.
Yeah.
What we're seeing written on it, rock, is only
Yeah.
visible to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what this little girl is showing to the school bus on the sign, we have no idea.
We have no idea.
no clue.
Potentially it's the same.
Yes, absolutely. I would say it's likely that given sort of the state of the writing on the back, that could even just be a first go
Of rock.
of rock.
Well, and I did examine the photograph previously,
Mm.
and if you look behind her left arm,
yeah.
you can see that on a second line. So the top line is just rock.
Oh, I see that.
And
I
on
do
the
see that.
second line
Yeah.
behind her arm,
Yeah.
there's a period.
there's just an S.
There's an S.
there's an
so
S.
it is the sign actually does say rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Okay.
It's split between two lines.
Maybe that's
That's
why this
true.
is the first go.
Yeah.
Now
Maybe
could
on the
be-
reverse side it says rocks all on one
Another
line.
option. Another option. I'd like to go ahead, Gabe.
I don't think there's anything on the other side of the sign. I think that she's just holding the sign
Sign
incorrectly.
backwards.
Could be.
That's what
Could
Gabe
be.
thinks. I think it's also
So-
possible that that she started to write rock sail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of it. So, is that the question that's presented
Okay,
by
there's
the?
to me, and there's a couple more details here, Caleb. You've done an incredible job.
Really?
Oh, thank
But
you.
as somebody who's had a lot of time to study the picture,
Sure,
I
sure.
feel that I might have
Yeah,
additional
Josh.
insights.
Josh
Yeah,
has
yeah,
some.
So you can see on the table. Maybe I missed it that you mentioned this.
I didn't.
But there are rocks on
There
the
are
table.
rocks.
Oh, I see that.
There
They're
are
rather.
rocks.
They're pretty flat.
They're quite flat, which is something that sometimes you want in a rock.
That's true.
Some of the most saleable rocks are
Flat. You
flat
can make
because
some
they
kind of
skip.
hatchet
and
or
that makes them
skip.
sail.
That's true.
So they are saleable.
Yep.
And also one other thing, this to me is a quite a dramatic element is a child on the school
Yes.
bus has their hand
Yeah.
pressed up against
As if let me out.
as if can you like they would love to be purchasing rocks
Purchasing
Or
rocks
out there helping sell them.
or
s-
perhaps
yeah.
involved
know.
in some kind of partnership.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Sign me up. Yeah.
He's saying 5%. I want 5% of the business.
Yeah.
I'll offer. you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, to help you turn your sign around.
Yeah, exactly. I have some great advice that you might find effective.
Yeah, I do have some of my advice would be to stand on the other side because she's standing on one of the benches of this, but it's the bench that obscures the view from the point of view of the school bus, obscures their view
Yes.
of the rocks.
Yes.
So in the future, if this girl wanted to show her wares while also attracting the attention of the passersby and making it aware that she hasn't just set up a picnic table with rocks on it for our own pleasure.
Yeah.
But in order to sell these
Right.
goods,
Right.
she should stand on the other side.
That is
Other
good
side.
advice.
Yeah.
There are all different ways you can handle this. I would say you want to do some A/B testing.
Oh,
Put
Yeah.
the child in front
yep. See,
and then put the child behind. See, because
What are you actually buying?
what are you buying?
What are you buying?
Is there it's like buying lemonade.
Yeah, from a
To
child.
what extent, when you buy lemonade from a child, are you hoping for an excellent glass of lemonade?
Yeah.
right.
And how much of it is just an opportunity to give money to a child?
Have
Yeah.
you guys ever gone to a child's lemonade stand, bought the lemonade, tossed it out
In front of them.
in front of them, and another?
Yeah.
No, I've not
Buy
done
some
that.
more.
Buy
toss
some more.
it out.
Dump it.
Yeah.
Making eye contact the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And to what end? I mean,
Well, just to see if, right, what I'm doing here is I'm giving you the money
Yeah.
and taking the stuff,
Yeah.
and do you care?
Yeah.
do you care about your product?
Do you care that
Yeah.
I'm not
You're
ingesting
getting
on.
you're getting money.
You're getting
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want with it now.
Yeah, it's mine.
It's mine.
Yeah.
You go find a car,
Go.
pour it in the gas tank.
Or another idea would be to buy the lemonade, all of the lemonade
Right.
from the
Yeah.
children, set up a lemonade stand right next
Right
to them,
next to 'em.
charge
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
It's true.
That would be what a lesson that would be to them. Now they get to see what it's what the real world is like. They get to see that, my gosh, this supply and demand for lemonade seems to be working this way.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's like kids and moms lemonade.
Right.
And then it's moms and pops
Yeah.
lemonade going after kids and moms lemonade.
Yeah.
You see how that trickles down.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
big lemonade eventually will come
Yeah.
after
Eventually.
mom and pop's lemonade.
Get country time knocking on your door.
It would be fun.
We're here to buy you out.
Well, I'm using your
I'm
lemonade.
actually using your
Yeah.
product.
Oh, so we
Without
already own you.
licensing?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I think would be interesting would be for a man in his 30s to do that, and then just to kind of see if he's actually able to best the children.
You mean
Yes.
to buy their lemonade stand outright and
He buys their lemonade stand outright, sets up next to them,
Yeah.
and see if his wiles are such that he's able to actually
And then
sell
I go-
more lemonade.
And then
Because I have a feeling that it would not be successful.
this guy in his 30s, though, he's sly and he
Yeah.
knows what's up. So then he
Yeah.
goes, hey, listen, now what I'll do is I'll pay you guys a percentage of the profits to
Yeah.
run it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, his markup must be substantial.
Oh, yeah.
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 This
So we'll-
lemonade has gone way through the roof. And these kids are wondering, why are we even doing this?
Yeah.
We used to do this. We used to own this.
We used to own this.
We used to get
They
all
have
the
a guaranteed
profits.
amount, though.
Yeah.
They have a guaranteed, I will pay them by the hour,
Yeah.
not on commission.
Right.
So they're guaranteed.
Wow. So
I'm
it's
risking it.
so it's
But
possible.
they're not incentivized.
It's possible that this man in his 30s, whoever he may be, is really taking a bath on the lemonade,
Could be.
which is sticky.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
sticky.
Not
You
a good
gotta take
medium for-
that's calling for another bath. You're gonna need another bath after that.
Yeah.
Or a shower, just
Yeah.
like Gabe's once a year shower.
Just once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do not want to take a bath if you have like matted fur all over your body.
No
I
lemonade
can only
baths.
advise against
And I was wondering, do you need
the
any
old country
PT
time dip. What?
for your time down in the tunnels?
Physical?
Are
That
you
is
needing
my
some-
PT, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is my PT. I have
Yeah.
little tiny scrawny legs and huge buff forearms.
Yeah, so you can. It's easier to drag yourself along.
Yeah, exactly. You ever seen a
Yeah.
mole?
They've got a crazy nose.
Hello.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. I go for that
Mole.
mole physique.
That mole
Yeah,
physique.
you know those weird ads that are like you could be like a tiger buff guy,
yep,
alpha.
yep.
You know, have you seen
I
these?
haven't
seen these.
I haven't
They
seen
are
it.
they show up on YouTube for me, and it's like
What is your body
yeah,
type?
it's like you can be this sort of like big, strong, sexy
Wow.
animal, and
Yeah.
it's totally appealing to like the weirdos in our culture. I don't know why I'm getting these ads served.
Yeah.
I've turned off all the blockers, all that stuff.
Yeah. So they can't even see when you go to those sites.
Exactly. They don't even know that I like to
know that you're
to
there.
watch these videos of these guys working out.
See,
as
I think
animals.
I
but,
think
but anyway,
Google-
that's I want. My guy is the mole guy.
Yeah.
The mole guy.
Yeah.
Underrepresented on those sites.
Right. Exactly. Why don't they have the
Totally.
mole guy?
Yeah.
He's blind. That's cool. You know who else was blind?
Ray Charles.
I was gonna say Ray Charles. He was blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bartimaeus.
Some of our
Bartimaeus.
most
Famous blind men.
Blind Lemon.
Blind Lemon Jefferson.
Helen Keller. She was blind.
well, okay.
Yeah.
Among other things.
Yeah. No, it wasn't her only distinguishing trait.
Yeah. She was
Yeah.
a woman.
And she was buff as hell.
So buff.
Freaking ripped.
And she didn't even know it.
How do we feel about the question?
Yeah. Well, the question
the
of this,
question that's
the
really
question
being asked by
of
this
the
picture?
picture of all these pictures is going to be: is it real?
Or is it created by AI?
Is that actually where
Right.
we're going? No.
That
No, I
was-
just think that's one of the questions.
Is
here.
that it's real?
Because-
Because
Question
it
of-
did well when part of the issue is the provenance of the question, right?
Okay.
When it's from Justin, that's a major
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
that's a major component.
That's true.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Or is it
And
some
a
kind
lot of
lie?
Joy's stuff, you know, her submissions have been so specific and so, you know, it's they walk that line of being like unbelievable,
Right.
but also grounded in, you know, this truth of
Yes.
the world that she lives in, that this family exists in, is
Truth is stranger than fiction.
exactly like it's that sort of thing. So I am prone, I am, you know, inclined to believe
Yeah.
that this picture is the genuine article.
It's a genuine
Yeah.
article.
Truth
real
is
deal.
stranger than fiction, but
Yeah.
there are some things that, you know, like
Yeah.
there's some things where I kind of think fiction might be stranger than truth.
What would be an example, Caleb?
A whole planet doesn't have water.
Well, then you need to
Yeah.
dig a little deeper, my guy, because
Guess
that's
what?
the whole thing with Arrakis, Caleb. There's water there, dude.
Not like usual.
No,
And
but
I guess,
why?
But one
why?
one thing I thought of immediately was that that's actually pretty common
Sure. Yeah,
in
it does
our
happen.
solar
in the-
system.
The-
Most planets.
was,
Yeah.
It was
don't
the
have
first thing that I
water.
was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
didn't realize
Arrakis thing
that.
didn't occur to
No.
me, but like the Mars
Right.
thing did.
When
Where
it's
some
like
huge news
it-
if we
it
find
is.
water somewhere. That's true.
it's usually
That's kind of
Yeah.
wrong. I'm wrong about
people are
that.
talking about it. They're like,
Okay.
we found a planet with water.
A planet with
which
a
is
black
rare.
sun.
There you go.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, that seems
that's
unlikely.
good. Yeah, like Gaiety Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I think we can put that to bed. I think it's a real photo.
I do too.
I don't, you know.
I agree.
Yeah.
The provenance of the question.
There, so I have a couple. Is she holding the sign the right
Yep.
direction?
I don't think she is.
Right.
That's one question.
And I might be basing this off of additional information because I was told about this
Yeah.
when it happened.
Yeah.
Well, you can't bring that in.
I can't. Okay.
No.
Well, then
Well, of course
cannot-
he can. Of
okay.
course he can.
Why?
I'm getting.
Why would he not
Just-
be able to?
Just to be clear
We're
to you
trying
guys,
to answer the question.
The picture is the question, Josh. Not all this other information. Can we see sort
But
of look?
we've done it before with other questions
where we've brought
where
other
we've brought
information.
other
I'd like to
additional.
This
enhance-
isn't Caleb. This
I'd
is
like to
not
enhance
a
this
game.
photo.
Caleb, this is not some kind of game.
Yeah, that's true. These
I-
people want answers.
I think this. Let's okay. Well, I will allow Gabe's evidence.
Okay.
I wish you had a gavel
Yeah,
sound
man.
effect.
What's the gavel sound effect? Let me guess. I knew it.
Some jam.
Yeah,
Some jam
you were
on
just-
the-
Oh yeah, on the end of the
I left
gavel.
my
Where are
butter
you-
knife at home.
where
Gotta
are
use
you-
my gavel. I'm hungry.
And
I need
Oh
my
my
jam
gosh.
sandwich.
I wish this judge would go into his what do they call it? His quarters?
Yeah.
Judge's chambers.
Chambers. His chambers. I wish this judge would eat in his chambers.
Well, he does, but he just
I
takes
want to
the gavel.
dispense justice, not jam. Okay, but
This-
look, let's
Okay.
let's try to
I'll allow
verify Gabe's evidence
Okay.
here, because if you see in the reflection of the
Oh,
school bus,
Caleb.
you can see part of. I think that's
Enhance.
the sign. Maybe not. I can't. We
Enhance.
need to enhance the
Oh my
picture
goodness.
somehow.
You
But
might-
can we?
You might be right.
Can we actually see if there's anything written?
You know what's cool though is my phone does recognize the text on the sign as a sign,
Wow.
as text. I mean,
As text.
So now I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it into my notes app, and I'm going to see if it accurately translates. It does. It knew exactly what it was saying.
Wow.
So good on you, Tim Apple.
No, it's not.
It's
It appears to be, but it's the other window. We can't get a read on this.
Yeah.
Photographic evidence, digging further into it
Inconclusive.
is,
Yep,
I would say,
inconclusive.
inconclusive. So
well-
that's one question, and I think we owe Joy at least an answer on that, even though the evidence is inconclusive. I would feel uncomfortable saying we don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to say that either. I
Yeah.
hate saying that.
That the rock is, or the sign,
Sign
is facing,
the wrong way.
direction.
No, I realized that you didn't actually get to
I didn't
finish
get
all
to-
of your evidence.
What I had heard was this was the sign that they made. They painted on one side of it and stood out there for a while holding the sign up the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, take that.
Yeah.
Now, it's the sort of thing where you're like, you hear that, and again, we're talking about the Samson whole universe thing.
Samson verse.
That to me is believable in
Yes.
that zone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and I get it. As a kid, you're kind of like, okay, you maybe haven't figured out that not everything that you see other people like.
Right.
You're looking at the sign. Well, I gotta see what the sign
Right.
says.
And you
Rocks.
know what the
Yes.
sign says, so everybody else will know what the sign says.
Right.
That this is the sign for the rocks.
Right.
From my vantage, it makes the picture, knowing that information makes the picture even more beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
It makes it increases my my appreciation of the picture.
It
quite a
increases
lot.
my appreciation of it.
appreciation, my imprecation
Yeah.
Yeah.
of my pronunciation. So I really like knowing that, and I'm so glad that so that can't have been Joy's question. She
No.
knew
No,
that.
she knew that.
I'm fairly certain. Again, it was a few. We're backloaded, as Justin says, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
we are still kind of catching up. This was a couple months ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm a little fuzzy on the exact details, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was held up incorrectly for most of the time that the sale was happening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also that the sale was unsuccessful in any metric.
That's also
every
information you got.
Yes.
Okay,
No.
because that was interesting.
Rocks
Well,
were
that
not
kind of
sold.
ruins
Oh.
everything else, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Because that was my next question: was did she sell anything?
Yeah.
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 Again, I mean, fuzzy on the details.
Yeah, yeah,
But I guess we should. I guess this is when I pledge to you to start building some distance
yeah.
in my personal life and
Well-
my family's relationship with the Samson family, because it has already negatively impacted the episode, I think. So I don't want that to happen in the future.
Because you've revealed too much.
Well,
So I think we have to end our friendship, is what I'm saying.
to
if we
preserve
want to
the-
do the podcast,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah, that really is the choice.
Yeah.
It's a Stephen and Joy
Yeah.
versus the podcast.
Right.
Kind of, you got to.
No, that'd be a great movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
Stephen and Joy versus the podcast.
And it's one of those beasts like
Yeah.
we did
Yeah,
earlier.
exactly.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them take it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've got Joe versus the volcano.
Who's in the tunnel? No one can be in
Stephen
the
and Joy.
tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe their kids are in the tunnel.
Oh.
Stephen Joy and the Tunnel Kids versus the podcast.
Yeah.
So, but I actually don't think it ruins everything.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It just
wow.
ruins that
Oh, my
question.
goodness.
But
Okay.
because here's why. That can't have been her question. She already knew
Yeah.
Yep.
that the child didn't sell anything.
Yep.
So then what is the question?
I think she's putting a mirror up to society and asking what's actually
She's holding it
better here.
backwards. But
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
she's
She's looking
checking
into
her
a
bangs
mirror
or something. I don't know.
She's looking into a mirror. Yeah.
Joy's looking into a mirror with this question.
she's looking up into a mirror up to society.
Yeah, that's
She's
right.
facing society and looking into a mirror.
She's looking at society. Then she puts a mirror in between her and society.
sees herself in society.
But I think she's asking, these kids are at home. They're being homeschooled. Those kids are in the bus.
Yeah.
These kids at home are learning skills.
Yes.
They are failing.
Some misguided entrepreneurship
But-
here.
Are involved in the market.
But
Yeah.
if you ask any successful entrepreneur,
yeah.
they will say you have to fail, 100 times before you succeed, or
Yes.
whatever. You have to try things. You
Fail
have
upward.
To fail upward. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you make business.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of what she's pointing out here, is that my kids are out here learning real life skills.
So that's a question.
And she's saying, pretty cool, huh? Like, that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
That's
It's kind of a
question.
rhetorical
question is-
question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
no, but it's like,
That's
you can
fine.
still
We
answer.
didn't say it couldn't be a rhetorical question.
No, but like, pretty cool, huh?
Pretty
You
cool,
can still
huh?
be like, you can still make a judgment on that.
You can,
Like,
you can
I
say
understand
no.
that.
You can't say no.
You can say no, like, you should go instruct her how to hold the sign.
Right.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it is actually pretty cool.
I do too.
I do too. I like this picture. Pretty cool, huh? Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If that's that's great.
I think it's great.
I mean, the evidence is there in the photo. The child's hand on the window, like some sort of like test subject behind glass.
Yeah.
Like there's
Oh,
it
yeah.
evokes this sort of prisoner.
Yeah.
It's a
thing.
contrast of freedom
Yeah.
versus
I can sell
containment.
rocks, and you're
And
stuck
it's-
on a bus.
And
Yeah.
and it's like the bus is going somewhere, or is it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Is it going anywhere?
It's
In-
actually going around in circles.
Right. Or has this bus driver gone insane?
Right.
And is just driving
And he's
this
just- and he's just
busload of children
stopped
around
in
in
front of
circles.
the-
Yeah.
We're just
Or he's just stopped right there.
Yeah.
And which is so interesting about pictures. They are truly a moment frozen in time.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the idea of motion itself is in question here.
sure.
Yeah. Is the bus stopped? Are kids getting
It's
out?
like Keats
Are
ode.
kids getting on?
It's like Keats, or like kids. It's like Keats on ode on a Grecian urn,
Mm.
where
I'm not familiar, Josh.
Okay.
Please
Yeah.
elucidate.
he basically he says that as you look at this at these images on this urn, that they're all frozen in time. There nothing will ever happen. They experience both immortality, but
Are they really
total
living?
stasis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
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 It's a question every picture asks.
I can see why you brought that up.
Stasis.
Yeah.
Stasis.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with stasis?
I gotta go to sleep to travel in space.
Well, when you go,
No,
They don't.
not in the Duniverse.
Did I say stasis? I
sure?
meant spaces.
I actually don't remember. If they
Oh,
have to
did I
go to
say
sleep or not.
spaces? I meant spices. That's not a knife.
Did I say spices? I meant ISIS. Those guys are crazy. That's kind of
Yep.
where I thought it was
Yep,
going
that
to
was-
go.
Maybe a little more on brand.
And it's a strong brand.
It's
Real
what everybody,
strong, bro.
it's what everybody
Yeah.
thinks of. So that's kind of, I think, to summarize our answer.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joy.
Yeah,
Yes.
Joy.
Pretty
Very
cool.
cool. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
We love the picture. We've got
That
a.
reminds me, I need to summarize something else.
Do you
My wardrobe. It's getting warm.
Yeah.
summarize?
I agree.
Summarize it. I've
Yeah, you can winterize something.
I think you can summarize it.
And it's interesting because your clothes will be less long.
Well,
Yeah, that's true. That was
Yep.
long.
yep. I also think
Can I wear a nice pair of less longs? And Caleb knows my proclivity for a belly shirt too.
Oh yeah,
You know,
showing off that midriff.
my midriff. Well, what? I'm gonna get my belly button pierced. Not gonna show it off.
Yeah, true. That'd be crazy. I'd be more concerned about that.
Have you ever been doing a bit and somebody kind of just breaks in the middle of it,
Oh, I'm
interrupts?
sorry, Josh.
Oh yeah.
And you get a cut off midriff.
Made you feel bad.
And I was also going to say, Gabe has sunglasses. Speaking of summer eyes,
That's true. That's what I call these. My
Wow.
summer eyes.
And look what we're doing with this.
Yeah, words.
It's kind of like we're using all parts of the buffalo. All parts of the podcast.
yeah, every part.
every part of the podcast. Guys, should we do a song?
Yeah, let's do one.
Let's
3, 2, 1.
Here's a song kind of inspired by the subject matter and sort of the attitude of Joy's question today.
Awesome.
When you're 18 years old, you got one thing on your mind. You want to get out in the world, get every rock you can find. Smooth and shiny, huge or tiny, pebble or a boulder, rock bag on your shoulder, quartz and calcite, glitter in the sun. That's what being 18 is like for everyone. When you get close to 30, you feel more sedated, but your hunger for minerals has not abated. Pyrite blocks in the drawer with your socks, crystals full of power, sapphires in the shower, house full of gems. It's a cave out of the sun. That's what 30's like for everyone. When you're older still and your arteries are plaqued, your passion for stones still hasn't slacked. No kids and no wife as you spend your whole life sifting through the gravel. Didn't really travel, but you got pockets full of amethysts, geodes clutched in both your fists. Backpack full of rubies as you step into the waves, saying goodbye to your system of caves. Now your hunting days are done. That's what being 34 is like for everyone.
Wow.
Wow.
That's really nice.
I have some work to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have not been doing this stuff.
Well, it's kind
It's
of
coming up.
It is.
I don't know if you guys, the subject matter made me think of Hardy's song "A Rock," where he sort of
Yep.
traces the
Yeah.
way that rocks play into the various significant points in your life.
Right.
And so I thought I would do something, that maybe there's kind of a way of taking that same idea, doing it in a way that would be more relatable for certain people.
Yeah, yeah. And part of the way you can make something relatable is just telling everyone this is what we all do.
We all do.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody does this. Everyone. This is what it's like for everyone.
Very specific ideas.
also-
Yeah.
yeah.
As somebody who has heard both Hardy's song
Yeah.
"A Rock" and
Yeah.
this song,
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting that Hardy's song is supposed to be earnest and sincere,
Right.
and this song is supposed to be very silly.
Uh-huh.
Right, Josh? It's supposed to be silly.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. You're
I
kind
mean,
of you're kind of being silly.
Seems it's kind of whatever the listener takes
Sure,
from
but
it,
but it seems like
yeah.
it's supposed to be silly. But I was
Yeah.
laughing a lot more
Yeah.
during Hardy's song than I was laughing to this song, which isn't to say that the song wasn't funny or silly.
No,
but
I appreciate it. It's a very high bar to
Yeah.
achieve both Hardy's earnestness
Yeah.
and his humor.
yes, absolutely, it's attainable. It's like a precious gem.
Yeah.
And go
Yeah.
check it out if you haven't listened to Hardy's song.
Yeah.
A-Rock.
Yeah.
No, it's way better
This
than
is
this
pretty
one.
good, but
No,
listen
no.
to Hardy's
Yeah,
Hardy's
it's
song
good.
is-
Yeah.
We can't play it.
Yeah.
We asked him. He said nothing. He didn't say anything. He didn't respond.
Yeah.
No. And I just sent that particular email to hardy@gmail.com. So
right.
I'm not,
Right.
We're not,
Not even
sure,
sure
if
if
it's
that's
him.
right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we're just not sure if he got it. Like, we're not sure if his assistant looked at it
Right.
and didn't pass it on to him.
Could have been that.
But
Any other questions about that particular song?
why isn't it longer? It could be. I think it
You
could
think
probably
it
be
could have
15
been
or 20
longer?
minutes long.
Older.
Could stretch it out.
So yeah, in the conception of this, if it's
Yeah.
you're quite old and you're only 34,
Right.
Yeah.
then like, man, I know some people
Well,
that are.
Right.
I mean, this particular person, it says you're older still.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is true.
Which is older than,
Yep.
than 30.
Is 34 older than 30?
yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
if you're
You
just,
got me.
Yeah.
if you're just
You're right.
following the math.
You're
and,
right.
And for the people thinking about asking questions, maybe send us a real softball one like that.
Yeah.
That would kind of be nice. The
This-
last couple episodes.
Any kind of softball question.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
about the rules.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just why don't you just lob an F flat
Mm.
our way?
Yeah. Yep. Lob one. Can they do Can they do fast bows?
Can they do fast balls?
As long as they're underhand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's why they do that wind up.
They do not wind up.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Did you guys, you didn't find the song to be sad at all? The guy at the
So
end.
it's a fast softball.
The guy at the end has amethysts and geodes,
Yeah.
and then he's got a backpack full of rubies,
Rubies, yeah.
and he's stepping into the waves.
Yeah. He's ready.
He's
He's
gonna
ready.
go
He's
Yeah.
ready to go. Just spend more time with become a pile of bones
Become a
with his
pile of
with his pile of rocks.
bones are kind of like
Really?
rocks in this way.
Yeah.
Now a bone
Bone
now
can become a rock.
bones that get pulverized over and over by ocean waves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think that if you've ever been to a beach and picked up like a kind of a lighter stone,
Yeah.
maybe it's actually bones.
It could be bones.
It could be a
I
bone.
think that's true.
a bone
Yeah.
stone.
Yep.
Could be a bone stone.
I don't know. I just thought about that. Just like, instead of a pile of bones as we would normally conceptualize that.
Yeah.
If it was just like a pile of rocks that
There's
were.
there's all different. I think there ends up being all different kinds of sand. You have bone
Okay.
sand and you have rock sand.
Right. You have rocks and
Yeah.
you don't have to be so small.
Yeah. Well,
On
sometimes.
second
Is that-
thought, that's
is-
what makes you sand.
Is that
Rocks and
is that song about that mineral whore?
yeah.
You might have to bleep
yeah.
that, Josh. I'm sorry. It
Oh
felt
No, it's fine. You can send your questions to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. Please do. Guys, anything else we need to deal with right here at the end? I feel like we're good.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah. I think
Covered
we did.
everything.
I think we did.
Happy Memorial Day.
Yep. Happy Memorial Day.
Yep. Some gave all.
And all gave some.
And my name's Gabe.
And I'm Josh.
And I prefer not to say.
Bye.
Bye.